Regardless of all this, what is the cause of emotional disorders? Is it just the person who mistreats us? Is it just behaviors? Is it the way somebody treats us? No. We've talked about this many, many times. 1,000 people will listen to this show and walk around with the wrong idea that it is the treatment that is the real thing that causes emotional disorders. Even after I say this next thing, it's not treatment that causes emotional disorders. It's attitudes. Do Johnny Depp's mother and father live with the same types of attitudes? Yes. What did I just say? What causes emotional disorders? Is it treatment? No, it's attitudes. It's the parents' underlying attitudes. And even though I've just emphasized it, still 1,000 of you will walk away thinking that I'm saying that the way that Johnny Depp was treated is what matters. It's not what matters. It's the attitudes of his parents that he was observing. Treatment matters, but only in so much as it reflects attitudes. So that's the mistake that children make who later grow up into adults. We think back to the treatment that we received, but it's not the treatment. The treatment is not relevant. What's relevant is the attitudes that allowed for it. Because we're exposed to those attitudes even when bad treatment is not happening, you see. Why did Johnny Depp's father allow Johnny Depp's mother to continue abusing her children? Because he lives with the same attitudes that says it's okay, that it's not that bad. Then, of course, Johnny Depp's father left the family. He said, I can't do this no more. He walked out one day. Depp saw him. He said, oh, my dad's going to work. Hey, Dad. Hi, Johnny. Dad drove off. Didn't let Johnny know that he was doing it, that he was leaving the family. Depp goes on to visit his dad at work. Johnny says, hey, Dad, what's going on? His father says, yeah, it's true. I left your mother. I just can't take it no more. What did that reveal? Who was Johnny Depp's dad living most for? His children? His children or himself? Did he make any arrangements to get his kids out of that environment? No, he didn't. So who was Johnny Depp's father living for mostly? Himself. So here's what we learn about Johnny Depp's family life growing up. That his father cared mostly about himself, perceived himself as having no inherent responsibility for the well-being of his children. And who did Johnny Depp's mother live for primarily? For herself. In Johnny Depp's family, the children were just possessions. They were not people. And the parents were these stunted children, these adult children who had never grown up with any concept of responsibility or of the value of feelings or of self. And it's just sickening. It's really sickening. Depp's sister got up on the stand. She's like, well, they went to the funeral. They went to their mom's funeral, and they were like, well, why did you do that? And she's, well, we love our mom. You know, that's the thing, is that, and that's not an unhealthy thing. That's not an emotionally unhealthy thing. That is hard baked into us, to love people who don't love us when they're our parents. Even when they're our parents, children will still continue to love their parents no matter what they do. That is hard baked into us. That type of love, a love that children have for their parents, doesn't have to be earned. It's hard baked into us, unfortunately. So the thing I made a note about earlier was that Amber Heard, at one point, she's doing a pre-recorded thing. They're asking her about why she got in between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's sister. Amber Heard goes into this thing about how, oh, she's my sister. I would have done anything to protect her. We were at the top of the stairs. She's my little sister. She continues to describe her sister as her baby sister to paint the idea that her sister is like 6 years old and Johnny Depp's about to kick the 6-year-old down the stairs. And it's so manipulative. It's such a BPD thing because Amber Heard's sister at the time was a full-grown adult. Amber Heard trying to frame this thing as like, I got in between them because I'm her big sister. She's leaving out the fact that her sister is a grown, independent, adult free agent, completely grown woman, can completely take care of herself, is responsible for taking care of herself. Amber Heard doesn't know it. Amber Heard doesn't know it. Amber Heard does not understand that once you become an adult, you're responsible for yourself. Amber Heard talks about her like she's her mother. The whole thing is just so fascinating.